Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Dialogue. I'm Taimur, Shamil. Prime Minister Imran Khan was in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan to attend the meeting of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and primarily SCO is focusing on three things. The economic angle of SCO is to improve the economy of all the member states and create an environment in which they can benefit from the economic side of SCO, and they can tap their own potential. The second thing is the security, which is the most important thing that was also mentioned in the declaration of SCO, which concluded yesterday, and which was primarily focusing on the security of the region, of all the member states, and that there should be an end to terrorism in the region so that SCO can work on all these areas in which SCO wants to focus on. The third thing is the political side of SCO. Political stability is the most important thing while we talk about SCO, its member states. Political stable states can work on a stable economy and stable security. Prime Minister Imran Khan was there, and this time the optics were very interesting. We saw Prime Minister Imran Khan meeting the president of Kyrgyzstan, and also most importantly the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. And Prime Minister, we saw them talking at the photo shoot as well, candidly talking to each other. Later they were together at a lunch, and we saw them, they were discussing different things. And in Pakistan that was received, these optics were received very well. Internationally as well, we see that a lot of experts have been talking about the informal meeting of Prime Minister Imran Khan and the President of Russia, President Putin. Prime Minister Imran Khan, interestingly, in an interview to the Russian news agency Sputnik, talked about his willingness to visit Russia. He said that I would love to visit Russia, and also another very interesting statement, he said that Pakistan would like to buy arms from Russia. These two statements are very, very important as far as the foreign policy of Pakistan is concerned, as far as SCO as a platform is concerned, and also we see that the regional alliances are also changing. We have seen recently very important shifts in foreign policy. Different states have been moving to different other dimensions of foreign policy. We'll discuss about all this, the potential of SCO and Pakistan's proactive foreign policy. Prime Minister Imran Khan has been visiting Middle East, he has been visiting China, now the Central Asia, attending the SCO. What are the policy options for Pakistan in the changing regional alliances, and how can Pakistan tap the potential of Central Asia, because this is going to be the next area in which a lot of states can tap the potential of Central Asia. It's all about connectivity and improving the economy of a nation, of a country. To discuss this, we have our special guest in the studios. Our first guest is Ambassador Burhan al-Islam, a renowned senior diplomat and an expert on Pakistan's foreign policy. Sir, welcome to the show. Our second guest is Mr. Raja Faisal, a renowned senior journalist and also an expert on an analyst on international relations. Welcome to the show, Mr. Faisal. Ambassador Islam, starting with primarily the Pakistan's proactive foreign policy. Prime Minister meeting the heads of the states on the sidelines of SCO, frequently visiting Middle East, frequently visiting China. So far, how do you evaluate the performance on the foreign policy front?
I think Imran Khan has got a stature and popularity, a common media and international politicians and the different circles of academics. They recognize Imran as a new guy in the political arena, but with some ideas and interest to improve relations with the countries in the region and across the distances as you go right and left. Imran Khan always, as you noticed, initially wanted to improve relations, sent a good message to India. After elections, 2 messages to India. And apparently Modi has won election by talking and propagating against Pakistan and on the basis of Hindutva. So I'm not sure how much Imran Khan can make progress in this direction with India, but we don't have to pursue it too much. We have sent 2 positive messages. If India doesn't reply, we should not be begging for building
And
relations.
this is exactly what Foreign Minister Qureshi said on the sidelines of SCO, that we are ready and we are waiting if India would be willing to talk to Pakistan.
So this is a good message Imran Khan has conveyed, and international community knows it and India knows it. Now, issue is how much we can go as regards India is concerned within bilateral context and regional context. Bilaterally, we are not seeing much progress because we don't think that after elections Modi is in a position to open new roads and communication with Pakistan. I think they will be waiting to see how things develop, because domestically it has used the slogan against Pakistan, all those things. How can immediately Modi change his stance and sit on across the table to deal with different foreign policy issues with Pakistan? So we have some uncertainty there, I see. But on the other hand, SCO is a great forum. Pakistan and India both are members. So security, counter-terrorism and regional cooperation in different dynamics it has. We have to see Pakistan's participation, how it goes, how the main players, the original players of the organization want India, Pakistan to get into it. In my feeling that bilateral issues cannot be discussed there. So Kashmir is out of the dynamics or discussion. It could not be done. So I don't know Pakistan-India relations, if they remain as unfriendly as it is. In SCO, how we can make progress, I have doubts there.
Right.
Because one important fundamental position on the constitution of the forum is that you will not discuss bilateral issues.
Yes.
So that means Pakistan, India, what will we do there? We have to see how the multilateral issues come up. Counter-terrorism, okay, we are fine.
Right.
If you talk about peace and security in general terms, Pakistan can contribute.
Exactly. And Mr. Faisal, SCO is such a huge, big platform. Pakistan obviously isn't obsessed with India. That's what the Foreign Minister said also on the sidelines of SCO, that fine, we have our differences with India, but SCO had its own potential. Improving our relations with Russia, with other Central Asian states is the most important thing at the moment. Central Asia is going to be the next area or the place where we can play a good game, I think, and also Eurasia would be a bridge between China and Europe. Having peace in Afghanistan and in the region would be detrimental for peace and stability overall in South Asia. How do you see the potential of SCO primarily?
Well, first of all, I would like to talk about the timing of this SCO. It is very important to talk about it. What is going on in the region? In the recent times, we had, Pakistan and India, which are the two members of SCO, they had a brawl, and that's not very far. It's just February we had the brawl, and out of that, what we took was that Pakistan constantly emphasized on restoring peace in the region. Pakistan constantly maintained that they are seeking peace out of it rather than any aggression. India was the main aggressor, and which is going not in the favor of India. What we are seeing in Bishkek right now is that India is being neglected, and that could be one of the reasons that Prime Minister Imran Khan, he kept on emphasizing on the importance of peace for the region, whereas Prime Minister Modi, he kept on pushing for war, and that too is considered as that he wanted to benefit out of it for his own elections. Secondly, the second most important thing is right now we have US in the Gulf, and of course trying to eyeing upon Iranians, and at the same time we have a peace process going on in Afghanistan, Afghan peace process, which is very important. And just a couple of weeks ago we had the Taliban members, they've been to Moscow, they met with the leaders there to discuss peace, which is very important. which gives us an idea that right now in the region, Russia is playing a vital role, and that too somewhere down the line with the help of Pakistan. Pakistan has played its role for the regional peace. They have cooperated with the Russia to restore peace in Afghanistan.
With both Russia and United States as well.
Yeah, with
Released Mullah brother,
exactly.
and he went to Qatar to attend the meeting with the Americans.
And exactly, and the letter of Trump to Prime Minister is an evidence that Trump realized that without Pakistan, things cannot be moved forward in terms of peace. So that's why in that letter he said, he actually asked Pakistan, requested Pakistan for help to restore peace in Afghanistan. There is another thing, that trade war between US and China is at its full swing in the region, and all of these things, they are very important. And in this important time, SCO taking place in Bishkek, it means a lot, and it's a statement itself for rest of the countries that where things are going. And it was very important for Pakistan to be there, and the best thing Pakistan has gained out of it is that Pakistan has created an image of importance within SCO, and I think it's very important for Pakistan.
In the region, certainly.
Exactly.
Bashir Islam, Prime Minister Imran Khan's informal meetings with President of Russia, Putin, we saw them having chit-chat while they were having a photo shoot, later at a lunch. These optics in international relations and the messages later that many experts think Prime Minister gave to the world while he gave interview to the Russian news agency Sputnik. How do you see that?
I think Imran Khan is making serious effort to improve relations with Russia, and he conveyed very good and positive messages, as you have noticed. I think this is how at the leadership level should be done. I mean, you are a new leader, a great country, Pakistan. Russia is an important country in the region. Of course, during the first Afghan war, we were on the opposing poles, but that is part of history. Now the dynamics are changing, and Afghanistan, new peace process, Russians, Americans are there, they want to withdraw troops. Pakistan has a role to play. We have helped them in bringing the parties together, especially the Taliban. So Russia has been observing all this, and Russia knows that in Afghanistan you can't have peace without Pakistan, right, or you can't have a good war, beneficial war, without Pakistan also. Americans fought a war without Pakistan, they could not succeed, they could not win victory, and Russians could not be thrown out of Afghanistan without Pakistan's important help. So Pakistan is an important player which Russia recognizes. Now, that being the case, our good friend China also wants these two countries should come together. We should not think about the past, look forward towards future. And in that context, I think all the countries in the region appreciate it, and they understand the situation. And the dynamics, as you were saying, the optics somehow all came in favor of Pakistan. I mean, the way Prime Minister was talking and sitting next to Russian President, informal talks and chat, and the body language that I noticed as if they are friends for ages. So that is very positive.
Or maybe President Putin, he's a cricket lover as well.
Oh, that is how maybe. Imran Khan definitely played a fantastic diplomatic card which made Putin very happy and made him open up and talk frankly with Imran Khan. This is what he needed, as you said. Maybe he loves cricket, and that brought them together because Putin himself is a sportsman. And
so how important is the comfort between two personalities, two leaders, when it comes to the realities on the ground, talking about the politics that is going on in the region, globally as well? How important is that comfort between the two leaders?
It is important. The chemistry between two leaders is very important, and if you manage to convey that to each other, you make it possible only when you realize that this guy is somebody with whom I can do business, or I can talk and he will understand me, and I will understand him. That is how the talk starts. So in these two leaders, as you have noticed, there is a lot of positives in terms of chemistry between the two leaders. They were talking so frankly, conveying messages. I even noticed that they're almost touching each other's hands as if they were going to shake hands. This is very positive. It makes a difference in the policy level and the messages you convey to the people also. I mean, those who have seen it, they will in Russia would know that, well, our leader is very close to Pakistani leader. I think they want to do business. We should be ready to help them out. So then the process starts, and public sector involvement, private sector involvement, all these things, different quarters wait for messages coming from the leadership. As to answer your question is very important.
Very important. And Mr. Faisal, what do you make out of the statement that we would like to maybe buy arms from Russia, and the importance of this statement at this point of time, SCO, as you were mentioning earlier, things that are happening in the region?
Basically, it's a statement towards Americans. Pakistan, kept on siding with America. Pakistan cooperated in Cold War. Pakistan cooperated in war on terror, and in both of the
even now.
Yeah, even now, Pakistan has been doing it, and Pakistan has actually suffered a lot for that. And Pakistan did not realize in time, and I think the current government, it has realized it, that the ultimate relationship they can have with Russia is friendship, and they are the nearest one, and they are the ones who can always be there for Pakistan. We need to understand one thing, that Russia of Cold War was a different Russia, and Russia of today is a different Russia. Soviets, obviously, they were pro-expansionists. They wanted to expand themselves, and their intentions were all clear, and they stated themselves very well, and they were expanding everywhere. But today's Russia is a Russia which believes in bilateral relations, which is a key player throughout the world when it comes to, in the recent past, you know it better than me, that they have outclassed Americans in terms of diplomacy. They have, you take it Europe, you take it Asia, elsewhere in the Latin
Middle
America,
East for that matter, recently
Middle East,
Syria and what has been happening over there.
Everywhere
they
have actually outclassed US, and it is alarming for US that Pakistan is actually ready to switch sides.
But do you really think that Pakistan would be switching sides, because keeping a balance would perhaps benefit Pakistan, and we have had good relations with the United States.
Exactly.
Keeping a balance with both Russia, China, United States would benefit Pakistan more.
What we have gained out of our past is that, whenever Pakistan was multipolar, like we had Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's stance, he was multipolar, and he was someone who wanted to have equal relationships with all of the powers. And I think that was an excellent strategy, and this is what Pakistan must do. Pakistan must not, create differences that actually take Pakistan away from America. Pakistan must keep mending the broken relationships with the US. Pakistan needs to sit with the US as well. At the same time, Pakistan has to have good relationship with Russia, today's Russia, reason being it's very good for Pakistan, and with the advent of CPEC, it is going to benefit Pakistan more, because Pakistan would be having, in terms of economy, Pakistan would be having a long reach through Russia towards the Europe as well. So in every way, Pakistan is doing the right thing, and if I think Pakistan wants to switch towards Russia in terms of weaponry, this is because that Pakistan has been neglected by the US in recent past.
This is an important, interesting point, Mr. Islam, that some experts think that in terms of economy, we collaborate with China, and everybody knows the importance of Chinese economy and the way they're developing it, improving it. And in matters of defense, as Mr. Faisal is saying, this statement that we might like to buy arms from Russia is perhaps all tilt towards the strategic side of Pakistan-Russia relations?
I think it's a sort of messaging at this important time of global politics. I mean, Imran Khan must have done with some insight as to what will be the impact of that statement. The messaging to the Americans that look, you have stopped our security assistance, you are not a partner anymore in terms of arms and ammunitions. And then a message to China that, well, Russia, as you said, is an important player. You are also encouraging us to be going close to Russia, so we are telling them we are even ready to buy arms.
Right.
What about talking about improving diplomatic relations? We are going 2 steps further in terms of purchasing military equipment and also talking about visiting USA for, of course, discussion on wide-ranging issues, including economic and other areas. I think it's a good message Imran Khan has conveyed, although I always think, I mean, as to how we'll manage. At this stage, our economy is not strong enough. India could build its military muscle, but we have to, I think, keep our muscles in functioning condition, then adding new element in the military ambition and all that. It may not be a practical step that Imran Khan is thinking about, but I think it's a messaging also to India that, look, you think that your great partner Russia is, but we are also opening up relations. This is what are the messages we have conveyed,
Right.
and we want to build relations. So don't get perturbed. We are not friendless in the region and distant, not too distant regions of Pakistan, I mean Central Asia and beyond. Russia, we want to reach Central Asia. This SCO is an important forum of Central Asia and Russia, China. And in that, Pakistan is a partner, and CPAC is a great project that Pakistan is doing it with China, and of course Imran Khan mentioned in the SCO summit also. So this is going to open a great opportunity for these countries with Pakistan and the Arabian Sea up to Europe. So India, if it thinks that it can pose a great threat to Pakistan, it should think twice. We have friends all around. Russia is there. We are talking to them, and China is our friend. So he should be thinking about peaceful means of building relations instead of talking about arms. If you talk about arms, we are talking to the Russians and Chinese, and in February you have seen that how serious we are in war. Sort of any action you will take, we'll respond it with 2 steps, 2 actions at a time.
Right. Okay. We are going to continue our discussion on Prime Minister's visit to Kyrgyzstan and attending the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting. We are also going to discuss about the importance of Central Asian states. It is the right time now that Pakistan should improve its relations with Central Asian states, explore the potential of Central Asia. We are going to discuss about this after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are discussing the SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, as a platform, and Pakistan's proactive foreign policy. Before the break, we were discussing the importance of the Central Asian states. These states are energy rich, and if Pakistan explores the potential of Central Asia, certainly Pakistan can benefit a lot, and so can the states of Central Asia. Mr. Faisal, talking about the potential of Central Asia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and all the countries over there, these are energy-rich countries. And in the future, certainly, a world will become more dependent on the energy resources. We'll be needing oil and gas resources. Surely, if Pakistan is working on mega economic activity, we would like to have more industries in Pakistan. For that, we'll be needing gas and oil. And in that case, we'll have to improve. We are improving. Our relations are good and strong with Iran, but we have to improve them more.
Exactly.
And tap the potential of Central Asia. So, Central Asian states and Afghanistan still being an issue. What is the future?
Well, to be very fair, you've raised a very good point that what is the future of Pakistan having relationship with the Central Asian states, republics. We need to understand one thing, that Pakistan has historic relations with them. People of this land, they share historic relationships with the people of that land. We have people in Pakistan who are Pakistanis now, but they have their ancestors coming from them countries. So we should never forget these things. And Islam is always there. They share
religion and culture.
Yeah, they share the religion. Even Urdu language has so many words and inherited from their languages. And after all of these things, we need to understand where did we lack having a relationship with them. Number one, during the Cold War, of course, they were the part of Soviets. And second reason was that there was trouble in Afghanistan, so we could not create a sort of a route which actually, as Prime Minister Imran Khan has emphasized on creating a connectivity, better connectivity between all of these states with Pakistan. That is for a reason. For doing so, Pakistan has to focus on Afghanistan's issue. Pakistan, as soon as the Afghan peace process has, given something to the region in terms of peace, it would be very good for Pakistan to actually create a better relationship with the Central Asian republics, and that relationship would include Pakistan having a trade relationship. Pakistan, with the advent of CPAC, Pakistan can actually, as them countries, they don't have connectivity with the world through a sea. The only possible way is Pakistan. They can use Pakistan, and once Afghanistan is peaceful, all the connectivity broken trade routes, they can be mended and they can be activated once again, and their trade with the world can happen through Pakistan, and Pakistan can play a very good role, and Central Asian republics can create a good relationship, trade relationship with Pakistan, and that would actually increase or enhance the bilateral relationships of several countries with the Pakistan. So I believe it's a win-win situation for all of them. And talking about the energy, the whole region, Central Asian republics, they are rich with the energy, and Pakistan lags behind. Even if we look at Pakistan right now, the Pakistan's local production or local industry, it saw a decline just because of one reason, that we were not having adequate means of energy to fulfill our needs, and we could not produce. So once we have the mutual relationship in place, of course, all of these things would benefit all of them.
So the potential of Central Asia, Ambassador Islam, and Afghanistan still being an issue in the region, where do you see the future of Pakistan's connectivity with the Central Asian states, and do you think that this is a hurdle, or we can explore other options in the region?
It is a hurdle, no doubt about it. Peace in Afghanistan is essential for creating an environment for the countries of the region to build relations in multi-dimensional spectrum. I mean, not only economic, transport, communications, all these things would require peace in Afghanistan. So this is an understanding, this is a requirement every country understands in the region. It's not only Pakistan or Russia or China. Every country feels that without peace in Afghanistan, we can't really exploit the full potential of our countries in terms of our resources and sharing and connectivity, trade, and everything is possible only if peace comes in Afghanistan. As alternative, I don't know, CPAC route through China, and if this connect with this
or through Iran,
through Iran.
maybe. And that too, we now see this rift and tension between Iran and United States in the Persian Gulf.
Yes, there are difficulties and challenges, of course. But with Central Asia, for us, best connection is this one through Afghanistan. Iran is a long route, let India exploit it. And we have to focus on this, and in our interest, we should promote, facilitate the people of Afghanistan to reach a conclusion as regards their dialogue process. They must find peace and facilitate countries of the region. And I must say, Afghanistan being a landlocked country will benefit the most.
Right.
Its resources not exploited fully. We know that Central Asian countries have gas and oil. These are being exploited with the help of Russians and Russian market, and Europe, they are doing business. But Afghanistan doesn't have good connectivity with those countries and world outside. A best connection is through Pakistan. So we have to improve relations with Afghanistan and facilitate peace in Afghanistan to be able to, facilitate a mutually beneficial relationship, trust-based relationship in the region for the benefit of all the countries.
And in the declaration, Mr. Faisal, the SCO member states have said that counterterrorism and security is the most important thing when they talk about SCO and regional connectivity, because ultimately everything would be depending on the security of the region. We see Afghanistan as an issue still that is there. Also Daesh, for that matter, and these terrorist organizations have been operating inside Afghanistan, and they want to operate outside of Afghanistan as well. So in terms of counterterrorism, what can all the member states of SCO do?
I think once again they have to keep on sitting together and talking about this. And one very important issue which they did not, I think intentionally did not highlight, was cross-border terrorism. One country gets used to penetrate in another country, and what we have seen in recent past, that if there is a troubled land like Afghanistan, it has been used by, like we have seen that India has been using Afghanistan to harbor terrorism in Pakistan, and Pakistan has successfully countered it. And I think all of these issues, they need to settle down. They need to sit down and settle down. In past, Afghanistan as a land, as a country, has been used by different militant organizations. Like what we saw was Al-Qaeda was there, then Taliban, out of their own rules, they did not get them out in time, and they rather than doing so, they just took a bigger thing on their face, which still the region is facing problems for. And I believe different issues they have to look up to, and the only solution, the ultimate solution for the region would be that the new organizations which were popping up in Afghanistan, they should be curled down, and in time these things should be implemented in Afghanistan rather than waiting for a longer time.
We have Mr. Rauf Hassan, a renowned senior analyst, with us on phone. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Shamil, how are you?
Thank you, sir. Welcome to the show. We are discussing Prime Minister's visit to Kyrgyzstan, and he attended the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The optics were very interesting. Prime Minister having discussion with the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, during the photo shoot, also at the lunch as well. Later in his interview to the Russian news agency Sputnik, he said that he would love to visit Russia, and also he hinted at buying arms from Russia. What do you make out of these optics and this recent interview to the Russian news agency?
I think, so far as the optics are concerned, they're very good. They're very positive, very encouraging for Pakistan, for Russia, and for the entire region. I don't want to take your time on this, because if you go back to 1947, 48, 49, then the historical blunder that Pakistan had made then, it's taken almost over 7 decades, for that to be overcome. I'm very pleased to see all that, what happened in Bishkek. The important thing is that the countries of the region get together, and if I close my eyes, and I look at China, Pakistan, and Russia working together for their respective development as well as for the development and evolution of this region, I don't put anything beyond their reach. They can achieve whatever they want to. It's a great axis, and people have been talking about this axis, and I think if this axis comes true, if, from all the way from Russia to China, with Pakistan, with Afghanistan, with countries of the Central Asian region, they make a block and they work together. I think it will be an incredible happening, and I think it will possibly happen because the regional dynamics have been undergoing a change since the past many years, and the relationship that Pakistan had with the US of America is not there any longer, and I think in the near future there is no prospect of that relationship improving because America has its own priorities in the region. And I think banking on Pakistan for peace in Afghanistan is there, definitely. I think they'll continue to bank on Pakistan, but beyond that, their strategic interests in the region do not align with the strategic interests of Pakistan. Pakistan cannot compromise its relationship with China, and I think that is possibly one of the targets of the United States of America. So that's not happening. So, overall, I think it's a wonderful thing, and, I was amazed actually, to see the way the Prime Minister conducted himself. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. But I think people have been seeing it come for a long time, and it's there. It's there. Now, what's important is that the Foreign Office of Pakistan plays a role and make it happen as soon as possible. Whether it's the Russian president coming to Pakistan or Prime Minister Khan going to Russia, I think it should begin with one of these two things taking place in the near future.
Right. And after the statement that Pakistan might like to buy arms from Russia, do you see any sort of major shift in foreign policy or our tilt towards other countries, let's say towards Russia specifically? Do you see it that way, or do you see it more sort of a message, strategic message?
Shamil, the foreign policy, the shift in foreign policy has already taken place. It has been there for some time. Now what we are witnessing now is a strengthening of that shift, because your relations with America cannot be the way they were, because there's no way, because you're far too close to China, and I think you're working together for Pakistan's development and for peace and development in the region also. So that shift has taken place. It was just that Pakistan and Russia were not as close as they needed to be much earlier than now. But I think that is happening, and as I said, in case Russia comes on board, and there is this extension of the economic corridor and so much else, which has already been taking place in this part of the world, I don't put anything beyond what they can actually accomplish together as a regional force. SCO is there, and I think these developments actually accelerated, since Pakistan got onto the SCO. And the only thing is that how would India respond to this? Because you see, ideally speaking, I would want the entire region getting together. because that is for the good of all the countries of the region. But I don't see that happening in the foreseeable future, because, as I said, the shift is taking place. The Americans and the Indians have been working together to kind of sideline China, or to kind of isolate China, but that's not happening. As a matter of fact, the dynamics of the region, are taking it in a certain direction where bulk of the countries of the region possibly would get together on a platform in the near future, and possibly you and I and everybody else is going to witness this very soon. So that has taken place. Now it is for the countries of the region, to sort of benefit the region from this unified approach, to solving problems like impoverishment, poverty, backwardness, radicalization, terrorism, and so much else. Basically, I think.
Right.
If the countries of the region work together, I think achieving these targets is going to be much simpler and much easier. And that is going to be to the collective benefit of all the people of this part of the world. So I think it's a great, great, great development.
Right. Mr. Hassan, pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Islam, connectivity is the most important thing. How do you think that Pakistan can briefly, if you can explain, Pakistan can tap the potential of the Central Asian states and tap the potential of SCO, given the situation that we have at the moment?
You see, basically SCO was created in the backdrop of the Afghanistan, Talibanization in Afghanistan, terrorism, fundamentalism and extremism. So the countries of Central Asia got scared, they got set with the Russians and Chinese to find out as to how to defend ourselves collectively. That is how this organization came into being about 30 years ago. I remember I was posted in China. We have been taking briefing from the Chinese, but they were not at that time was saying it is a restricted forum, so we are not thinking about expanding. I'm talking about 20 years ago. So at that time we couldn't think that Pakistan will be a member very soon. We understood it will take minimum 20 years. Yes, down the lane.
And we became members after 12 years, so
yes.
Still.
So this is how the situation changed, and it will be a useful forum Pakistan can tape in terms of course, Pakistan is a major player recognized by the international community towards counter-terrorism and battle and global fight against terrorism. Now, once that is done, our contribution in Afghanistan recognized by the countries of the region, I think peace, whenever it is established, people will talk about how to establish mutually beneficial cooperation and peace in the region. In general terms, all the countries work together to benefit. So this will be a great forum for Pakistan and the countries of the region. And Imran Khan's this peace offensive or diplomatic offensive, in a way I should say, towards Russia, I see its fruition very, very soon. I think it will not be taking more than 3-4 months that Imran Khan will visit Moscow.
This is very interesting. Very interesting.
So in 3-4 months.
3-4 months. This is very. Do you agree with that, Mr. Raja Faisal? Pakistan's warming up and improving its relations with Russia, because we have been having military exercises, joint military exercises in Pakistan. Russian military has been here, their personnel. But Prime Minister visiting Russia, that would be on a next level?
I fully agree with him. Even I might say that it might happen before that. The way things are going on between Pakistan and Russia right now, I think it would be very soon that Pakistan would be visiting Russia, and it would be benefit for Pakistan and the region. And one very important thing the ambassador has raised is that peace is very important for the region. And I must say that peace is the only end to every conflict. And all of the countries, SCO countries, they must try hard to bring that peace in Afghanistan sooner rather later. Reason being, the sooner it is, better it is for the region.
I think regional countries do want peace as soon as possible
America
in Afghanistan, but that doesn't just depend on the regional countries.
Yeah.
It depends on the United States and how they're going to address the issue. Though they want to leave, but the terms and conditions are still to be chalked out. Gentlemen,
Exactly.
thank you for joining us. Ambassador Islam, pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your time. Raja Faisal Saab, thank you for joining us. Pleasure having you on the show. That's all from today's show. See you next time. Khuda Hafiz.